When you think of Red Dead Redemption 2, you probably don't think of ice skating. Well, what if I told you that there's actually an ice skating secret in this game? So, if you head over to Barrow Lagoon, which can be found southeast of Coulter, and if you go across this ice lake, next to the elk, you will find this cabin. Go inside the cabin, and this is where you shall find the secret. Or part of the secret, I should say. So, you go in, and you may notice the ice skates, and there's also a newspaper, and the newspaper says, "A dreadful incident. Talented ice skater's career cut short in terrible accident." So, I mean, you can already tell that the person living here was probably the ice skater, and, well, he probably was quite famous and then got into an incident. Now, you may be wondering, who is this guy? Well, if you look right next to the ice skates, you can find a cigarette card, and on it, it says, Felix Hawley, Red Rocket Cigarette Tobacco, which, interesting name. But yeah, this is the guy. As you can see, he has the ice skates on in that little caricature. Character, yeah. And then, you know, those are the ice skates there. It also looks a bit like a Where's Wally or Waldo. So, doing some inferring already, we can guess that Felix here got into an incident, obviously, and probably just moved out here and retired. Maybe still ice skates on this little ice lake. But where this Easter egg gets really interesting is over here. You can find his grave. But not just any normal grave, it's been opened. You can see that he's missing a leg. So that incident that they were talking about, obviously, resulted in this. I don't think that was just like an earthquake or something, and it just happened that his casket opened up. I think it was something a bit more nefarious, because if you look at his tombstone, you see Felix Hawley, and it kind of talks about his life, but it also obviously says, "No ice in hell." So the story of this guy is that he was a talented ice skater, he got into an incident, probably lost his leg, then he moved out here, maybe still did a bit of ice skating, with one leg, but gonna be a bit tricky though, until one day he eventually died, someone buried him, and then after that, someone that didn't like him came out, and defaced his grave. So yeah, it's a pretty morbid Easter egg, but every Easter egg in this game pretty much is. But yeah, that's about it for today's video. If you want to follow my TikTok, my Instagram, any of my socials, they're all in the description. I also have daily polls and quizzes that go up, so subscribe and they'll come up on your feed. But other than that, thank you all for watching today's video, and I'll see you all in the next one.
He was my husband.
His husband! That's crazy. They killed his husband. That's very bad, guys.